If you're 20 years old today and you want to start farming, looking at Zillow or Tractor House feels like an absolute punch in the gut. You see land listed for $12,000, maybe even $15,000 per acre in decent farming regions. You see a decent used tractor going for 150 grand or more. And when you sit down and do the math on a napkin, you quickly realize that to start a traditional corn and soybean operation of just 500 acres, you need about $2 to $3 million of capital on day one. The system, the universities, the lenders, the farm magazines, they all tell you the exact same thing. They say, go to the FSA office, get a beginning farmer loan, leverage yourself to the eyeballs, pray for rain, and hope everything works out. That is absolutely terrible advice, and I'm going to say it plainly. That is not a business plan. That's a financial suicide mission. If you start your farming career $2 million in the hole, you aren't working for yourself at all. You're essentially a serf, working for the bank until you're 60 years old. But here's the good news. There is a back door into this industry. There is a way to break into farming without inheriting a trust fund and without signing your soul away to a lender. It's not going to be glamorous, and I want to be upfront about that. You won't be driving a brand new pickup truck. You won't be bragging about your operation at the coffee shop. We call this approach the sweat equity ladder, and it's a strategy based on pure hustle, niche markets, and solving problems that the big guys are too lazy or too inflexible to solve. If you're willing to work harder and smarter than anyone else in the county, keep watching because this is your complete roadmap. First, we have to address something difficult. We need to kill your ego before it kills your dream. Most young guys want to be farmers with a capital F. They want the title and the identity. They want to sit in the cab of a big tractor and watch the corn grow while feeling like they've made it. But until you have real capital built up, you cannot afford to be a production farmer. You need to be an entrepreneur first and a farmer second. The traditional commodity game of corn and wheat is a low-margin, high-volume game that requires massive scale. It's a rich man's game, plain and simple, and you cannot compete there yet. You need to completely shift your focus from growing crops to generating cash flow as fast as possible. Your labor is your only real asset right now, so you need to sell that labor at a premium rather than dumping it into a field that might not pay you back for 6 months. So let's look at the first rung of this ladder and how you climb it. You have no money right now, and that's actually a good thing because it keeps you hungry and focused. Don't go out and buy a tractor yet. Instead, be the guy driving someone else's tractor and equipment. But I don't mean just being a regular hired hand making $15 an hour. I mean offering specialized services that command premium rates. Look at the older farmers in your area and really observe their situation. They're tired, their knees hurt, they can't find good, reliable help, and they're overwhelmed. Your business model is beautifully simple. You will do the jobs they absolutely hate doing themselves. Take custom fencing, for example. Nobody likes fixing fence because it's brutal, back-breaking work. But if you get good at it and develop a reputation, you can charge $50 or $60 an hour for your labor. Or consider rock picking, which might sound ridiculous at first. But I personally know guys who organized rock-picking crews with high school kids and charged farmers per acre to clear fields before planting. Minimal equipment investment, almost pure profit. If you want to use your brain a bit more and work smarter, look into precision scouting services. Buy a cheap drone and a soil probe, then offer to scout fields for pests or pull soil samples for the local co-op or for busy farmers who don't have time to walk the fields themselves. And here's one more opportunity that most people overlook: equipment detailing, power washing and waxing tractors before an auction or trade-in. An older farmer will happily pay you $500 to make his combine look shiny before he trades it in, because he knows it will significantly increase the trade-in value. By doing all of this service work, you're building two incredibly valuable things at once. First, you're stacking actual cash capital that you control completely. But second, and honestly more importantly, you're building a reputation in your community. You're showing everyone around you that you show up when you say you will, you work hard without complaining, and you're honest in your dealings. That reputation will become the key to getting land access later on. All right, let's say you've spent 2 or 3 years hustling hard and you've got $20,000 or $30,000 saved up from your service work. So what do you do next? Do you go rent a prime 80-acre field in the middle of the best ground in your county? Absolutely not, because you'll get outbid immediately by the guy with 5,000 acres who pays cash rent just to keep his neighbors out. You need to become what I call a scavenger, and you need to start looking for the trash acres that nobody else wants. These are the small, odd-shaped pieces of land that the big 24-row planters can't efficiently fit into. The 5-acre corners, the wet spots, the steep hillsides that are a pain to work. The big farmers absolutely hate these spots because they're inefficient and slow down their operation. But for you, these acres are pure gold. You can often rent these difficult spots for cheap, or sometimes even for free if you agree to just keep the weeds down and make the place look maintained. And what do you do with these oddball pieces of land? You make small square bales of hay or straw. The horse market and the hobby farm market pay a huge premium for small square bales compared to big round bales. Big farmers don't do square bales anymore because it's too much labor and doesn't fit their business model. But that labor intensity is your competitive advantage when you're starting out. You buy an old, cheap square baler that runs forever. Those things are nearly indestructible and a reliable truck to haul with. You turn that trash land into a high-value product that people are willing to pay premium prices for. You're trading your sweat for margin, and the math works beautifully. While the big guy is making $50 profit per acre on corn, you might be making $300 per acre on premium horse hay. Now you've got real cash flow coming in and a little bit of equipment that's paid for. It's time to escape what I call the commodity trap. Once and for all, don't try to feed the world yet. Instead, try to feed your neighbor and the people in your community. Direct-to-consumer agriculture is honestly the only way a small farm can survive and thrive in today's market. If you sell a cow to the sale barn, you get wholesale price and the packer makes all the real money. But if you sell beef directly to a family, you capture the full retail price and all that margin stays in your pocket. Think about pasture-raised poultry, pumpkins in the fall, sweet corn stands in the summer, or farm-fresh eggs. I know what some of you are thinking. That sounds like gardening, not real farming. But let me ask you a serious question. Do you want to look like a big farmer, or do you want to have a bank account like a successful business owner? This is where you need to utilize social media to your advantage. Use your phone to document your operation and tell your story authentically. People in the city and suburbs are genuinely desperate to know where their food comes from and to support local farmers. If you can build a customer base of just 50 families who buy beef, pork, eggs, and vegetables from you regularly, you've created a stable income stream that Wall Street and commodity markets cannot touch. You're insulating yourself from market price volatility and building real business relationships. This is the holy grail of getting started in farming, and this is how you eventually get access to the big land you've been dreaming about. Remember that reputation you built way back in phase 1 when you were doing service work? This is where it pays off in a massive way. Here's the demographic reality that creates opportunity. The average American farmer is 58 years old, and many are well over 70. Millions of acres are about to change hands in the next decade. Many of these older farmers don't want to sell to the massive corporate farm next door that will tear out all the hedgerows and destroy what they've built. They want their legacy to continue and be respected. But their kids moved to the city years ago for other careers, so they have no natural successor in the family. That's where you come in. You become the successor they're looking for. You approach an older farmer with respect and a solid proposal. You don't just ask to rent his land like everyone else does. Instead, you propose a partnership structure. You tell him, I will work for you and manage the operation. I will do all the heavy lifting and physical work. In exchange, instead of a full salary, I want a percentage of the crop proceeds. or a first right of refusal to buy the machinery over time at fair prices. This is called an earn-in strategy, and it's incredibly powerful. You're buying the farm with your time and talent, not just with borrowed money from a bank. I've personally seen guys acquire million-dollar operations this way because they treated the older farmer with genuine respect and proved over several years that they could do the job right. This is a relationship game above all else. You cannot do this successfully if you're arrogant or impatient. You have to be humble, willing to learn, and willing to prove yourself. Now, I said no debt in the title of this strategy, but I need to be realistic with you. Eventually, you might need to buy a base of operations, a home farm with some ground and buildings. The USDA has a program called the FSA Beginning Farmer Loan that's specifically designed for people in your situation. They offer interest rates significantly lower than commercial banks and require much smaller down payments. If and only if you have a solid business plan built on your hustles and proven cash flow, you can use this program to buy your first 40 or 80 acres as a foundation. But here's the absolute rule you must follow. The land must pay for itself from farming income. Do not subsidize the land payment with your off-farm job and tell yourself it will work out later. If the numbers don't work with $4 corn and realistic yields, don't buy it. Use debt like a surgeon uses a scalpel, very carefully and only when absolutely necessary. Don't use it like a sledgehammer and hope for the best. Farming is not a sprint where you get rich quick. It's a marathon run in work boots, and you need to understand that from the beginning. If you start today with this strategy, you won't be rich tomorrow or even next year. You will be tired most days. Your friends will be partying on weekends while you're out fixing fence or delivering hay to customers. You will drive a rusty truck that's paid for. You will wear dirty clothes covered in grease and mud. But in 10 years, something remarkable will have happened. When the guys who borrowed millions are stressing about bankruptcy because interest rates went up or commodity prices crashed, you'll be standing on your own ground that you actually own. You'll have a customer list of people who genuinely love you and your products. You'll have equipment that's completely paid for, and you'll have the freedom and peace of mind that they can only dream about. The world desperately needs young farmers who understand business. But we don't need more tractor drivers with crushing debt. We need smart, scrappy business owners who know how to hustle. Start small, dream big, keep your overhead low, go find some rocks to pick or some fence to fix. Thanks for watching. If you're a young farmer hustling right now and building your operation, let me know your story in the comments. I read every single one and I want to hear what's working for you. See you in the next video.